All right, so how do you sell your $1.5 million Bellingham home without overpricing it? Now, a lot of sellers in the luxury category, right? We're talking $1.5 million, maybe we're a little higher or a little bit lower. They think the biggest risk is leaving money on the table. Well, most of the time, the bigger risk is actually the opposite. It's coming out too high, sitting on the market too long, and turning a strong listing into a stale one that before we can even get the right buyer interested, they don't feel any urgency, right? The hard truth is that at this luxury price point, the market usually punishes overconfidence faster than sellers expect, right? So I've seen this play out a lot of times, especially recently. That client has a beautiful home. Maybe it's genuinely better than others in the category, so they know what they've put into the home. These clients, they know what they want to get out of it, and naturally, they want to test the upper end of the market. But the luxury and upper end market here in Bellingham is it's less forgiving, right? When price and presentation are out of sync, what sellers often miss is that the buyer pool gets narrower the higher price point we go. While you might feel like we have more room to negotiate and see what happens, what you're really doing when you put your home up in front of a smaller audience, it tends to be a more educated, more sophisticated buyer pool that's more selective. They're less emotional than entry-level buyers, and frankly, the strategy has changed. Okay, so today we're gonna break down the 4 strategies that we're successfully using with my luxury clients to make sure we're not overpricing our Bellingham area homes and actually being successful. So strategy number 1, the luxury market, buyers notice value gaps fast. Luxury price point here in Bellingham, when buyers, they're not searching blindly, right? These are more educated buyers, and they're comparing. They're comparing, watching quality, layout, finishes, privacy, where we are in town, and how your home stacks up against everything else in this option and price range, right? Even more so, it is critical eye because buyers really have more options. So in the luxury market segment here in Bellingham, at the time of recording right now, so we're in April of 2026, there are 59 homes available that are priced above $1 million in that luxury category. Because buyers have options, they're gonna be quicker to dismiss something that feels even slightly out of line. When an overpriced high-end home, we don't get the luxury of maybe somebody's gonna come take a look at it. Those homes are gonna get skipped, right? This is one place where sellers can accidentally let pride interfere with the marketing strategy. For strategy number 1, we gotta keep in mind that loving your home and pricing it correctly aren't always the same thing. Buyers are gonna notice quick in this price range. Strategy number 2, time on market becomes a signal whether my seller clients like it or not. Right? This is the part I want every seller to listen to, and I want you to hear it. Days on market is not a statistic. It becomes part of the story that buyers tell themselves about your home, right? If we have this luxury price point home, $1.5 million in Bellingham, and this listing sits on the market longer than others, buyers start asking questions, and what's going on in their mind is, what's wrong with this house? First question buyers always ask. Next thing, why hasn't it sold yet? Am I missing something that somebody else saw? Are the sellers unrealistic? And buyers ultimately ask, should we wait if it's been on the market this long already? Once that narrative starts, we're not just adjusting price, right? We're trying to fight perception in the market. Ultimately, your home doesn't need to sell instantly, but it does mean early momentum matters more than our sellers realize, typically speaking, right? Strategy number 3, you don't want to underprice your property, but you also don't want to overprice it and then chase the market down without a strategy. This is where pricing strategy, there's nuance to it. Nobody wants to underprice their home and feel like they're losing out or giving something away. But overpricing it and then reducing it later without a strategy, just haphazardly, just because I felt like it and I wasn't getting the response I wanted, that loses leverage. So here's the nuance that if you were selling a luxury home and you're on South Hill in Bellingham, we have views over Bellingham Bay, and maybe you have some work that needs to be done to the property. Maybe it's turn of the century. Maybe the sewer line has concerns. That's where we want to start understanding the nuances of what are these other homes we're competing against. 59 homes on the market today. How do those stack up and compare against our home? Or maybe we have a dated home over in Edgemoor that kind of feels really, really large, but it needs a whole bunch of work. Maybe you have brand new construction over in Cordata and you have views of Mount Baker. This is where understanding the local market can help you understand what pricing strategy makes sense. And that's what having a quality agent that understands the local nuance, understands the neighborhood and everything that comes with it can really help you navigate that. Strategy number 4, at this price point, the presentation isn't just an add-on. It's part of the pricing strategy. So a lot of clients and a lot of sellers think that pricing and marketing are separate conversations. I'm here to tell you they're not. If you want buyers to validate a strong price, the home has to show like it deserves that number, right? It means professional photography, thoughtful presentation, and prep up front. We're not just saying, if I get my number and let's just throw it up there and, pray I get a buyer and just hope. Well, guys, I'm here to tell you hope is not a strategy. It takes a thoughtful implementation of preparation, photography, strong video, clean positioning, and a presentation style that matches. Because here's the truth, guys. Some sellers are trying to get a premium price with an average presentation. And that usually doesn't work, right? The market's too visual, buyers are too discerning, and they have more options now than they have in years past. At this price range, the details matter. The strategy and execution matter. So you got to make sure you have somebody quality on your team to execute, right? So if you're thinking about selling your home here in Bellingham or the surrounding area, if you're at that luxury premium price point, $1.5 million, maybe more, maybe less, the conversation shouldn't start with what's the highest number we can try. It should start with how do we position our home to get the strongest response from the right buyers without giving up any leverage. So if you'd like help building a strategy that works for you, reach out. My team and I, we'd love to be your real estate resource of choice and walk you through everything from strategy, pricing, preparation, and how to bring your home on the market in the right way to maximize value and create momentum from day one. Reach out. Thanks so much for watching. Share this with somebody that's thinking about making a move, and look forward to catching you on the next one. Thanks.